He refused and was proud, and was of those who spurn guidance while claiming virtue. Socialism is imposed. I know what communism looks like, I know what socialism looks like.
We have the Apocrypha, which is a collection of books taken out of the Bible. And within the Apocrypha are the answers to some of the more mysterious lines in the Quran that some people have trouble understanding. For example, in Book of Jasher, we learn the story of the Jews worshiping the golden cow while Moses was receiving revelation on the mountaintop. And when he came back, he took their cow and he boiled it down and made it into colloidal gold and made them drink of it. And little side note here, colloidal gold is rumored to make you kind of manic, but maybe also see the truth. And that explains the line, "They said we hear and rebel and were made to drink of the calf in their hearts," for their denial. Then we have a couple times Jesus is mentioned in the Quran. For one thing, we have the Gospel of St. Barnabas, which says that Judas was crucified in place of Jesus, and the likeness of Jesus was given on to Judas, which explains why the Quran says Jesus was neither murdered nor crucified, and rather someone else took his likeness. Gospel of St. Thomas has the story of Jesus, and everything he's saying is coming true. And he says these birds are going to turn from clay birds that he fashioned into real birds. And lo and behold, it comes true. Going back to the book of Jasher for a moment, it explains all the details of the story of the children of Israel, Joseph and his brothers. Well, maybe not all the details, but it gives you a lot of details. And if you listen to that, you'll learn why they entered a certain way into this town, which the Quran mentions but doesn't really explain. In the book of the Bee, it relates the story of Alexander the Great that I never knew was a biblical character until I read the Quran with Dhul Qarnayn. But the lines about Dhul Qarnayn are somewhat still debated today. Is that Alexander the Great? Is that Cyrus? They say blah, blah, blah. It's definitely Alexander the Great. And his story is in the Alexander romances, but you can also find it in the Apocrypha in Book of the Bee. And he imprisoned Gog and Magog. Book of Jubilees has the 4 holy months: the first month, the 4th month, the 7th month, and the 10th month, and the new moons, which is mentioned in the Quran as well, but they never explain what months they are. Then we have Book of Enoch, which basically explains how the flat earth model works, and that of course goes with the Quran saying the earth is flat numerous times. These are just some examples I found. Maybe you can look and you'll find more examples. But the Book of the Wisdom of Solomon explains how Solomon had control over the demons and whatnot. And at one point, the Bible and the Quran would have read like one book, with the Quran clearing up a couple things in the Apocrypha that's been taken out and a couple things in the Bible. The Quran was essentially clearing up the Bible, and it was an extension of it. But because they took these books out of the Bible, it doesn't really read that way anymore, which is probably why they took them out.